What's up, millennials? Today we're going to take a look at the technical analysis of LMND. Usually I do about 4 SPAC valuation videos per week, but I've now decided to cut those back from 4 per week to 2 per week, and then we're going to fill up those other 2 spots with technical analysis videos to see how you like them. The current SPAC market seems to be a little bit frothy, so that is also one of the reasons why I'm switching from SPACs more into technical analysis, and that is what I've shown you in the past couple of videos, especially in this one, the top 5 SPACs, and also this one at the end, which I published on, I believe, on Friday, and this one on Monday, I guess. And I also asked you, the audience, if I should continue with the SPAC valuation videos. Well, most of you actually said yes, do continue with the SPAC valuation videos. Some people, 22%, said yes, but do fewer per week. And then 11% said no, if I'm going to see more SPAC valuation videos, I'm going to puke. Which I completely understand if you're going to watch 4 SPAC valuation videos per week. So yeah, this is the change that I'm going to make from now on to see if you like it, if I like it, of course, as well, to see if we can do 2 technical analysis videos and 2 SPAC valuation videos per week. For this technical analysis video, I'm going to take a look at LMND's technical analysis. We're going to look at multiple indicators to, let me show you how I actually use technical analysis, what kind of indicators I do. I actually did not add to my LMND position because I'm already very happy with the position I currently have, but I do actually like the setup of technical analysis right now. We are on the daily chart, so that means that every vertical bar you see over here, these green and red bars are the daily candlesticks. So one candlestick, one vertical bar is basically 1 day of price action. And we're just going to take a look at a few simple indicators and also some more advanced indicators as well. So first of all, what we're going to take a look at is the support and resistance. Shortly, because I believe it's not that spectacular right now, we can see that we have a nice support line right around here, around the $86 level more or less, which was created all the way back here. When the LMND started IPOing, it topped out around that $86 level, then it came back down all the way to about $47, and then it started trading a little bit more to the upside, of course. We had some price action again around that $86 level, then we had a major low here in the beginning of March, or around like the 5th and 8th of March, which was also around that $86 level, and right now we again seem to be trading around that same level. We have gone down a little bit more, but I do think this line is going to hold up price action relatively nicely. We could definitely go back a little bit to test again that $86 level, or maybe a little bit higher, even $89 more or less, but I do think that this support is going to be quite strong. Now, if we do break that support level of $86, I imagine, well, I can't really see a lot of price action between these 2 levels. I believe the next real major support would be around $68, which is created by this top, and also this price action right over here. So yeah, that would be a problem if we did go below, or if we do close a candlestick below $86, but I don't really think that's going to be happening. Of course, it could happen, but I think the likelihood of that is relatively low. If we then take a look at the upside, well, I think that the next level that is very important to look at is the $111 range, more or less, which is not only going to be a resistance because of this line, which was created by this top over here at around that same level of around $110, $111, but also because of this price action over here, which created a nice low around that same price level. The next indicator I'd like to talk about are the exponential moving averages, and currently I personally use the 8, 13, 21 and 55 daily exponential moving average. So yesterday what we had, if we look, if we scroll in a little bit, we can see this candlestick over here, which was yesterday's price action, and we can actually see that this candlestick closed above this yellow line, which is for me the 8 daily exponential moving average. So that seems to be a pretty good line. I think that the EMA, the 55 EMA, the 55 exponential moving average, could instead act as a nice little resistance line, which also is going to be around that $111, $110 per share, which is of course going to be not only resistance because of that resistance level we have just been taking a look at in the support and resistance part, but also because of this white line, the 55 exponential moving average. The next indicator I'll talk about is the relative strength index, the RSI, which is a quite powerful one of my favorite ones for sure. I'm going to talk about two things about the RSI right here. First of all, we can see that this blue line, which is the RSI, has crossed above this white line, which is the exponential moving average on the RSI, and that usually is a good sign, especially if the white line is also seemingly going back up again, which now seems to be the case. So that is already one good indicator that the RSI, the blue line, has crossed the EMA, the white line. The other good thing is this part over here. We are going to see, or we are already seeing, bullish divergence, which basically means that we have price action making lower lows. We had a massive low over here at the beginning of March, and right now we seem to, well, we already have created a massive low over here at the end of March, just a few days ago. So we see price action making a low over here and a lower low over here. Whereas if we look at the RSI, if we go back here, we can see that the RSI created at that same time, in the beginning of March, it created a low, and then the end of March created a higher low. So again, price action making lower lows, indicator making higher lows. That means bullish divergence and is a good sign. Another indicator is the Krown trading stochastic. Now, this is not a public indicator. This is an indicator that I got because I have a course from Krown's Crypto Cave. You might know him if you like technical analysis. He does a lot of technical analysis on Bitcoin. If you don't know him yet, definitely check it out, especially if you like Bitcoin cryptos and also technical analysis. Then I think Krown's Crypto Cave is definitely the way to go. But I think this is a pretty solid indicator, especially when it fires a move like this right here. What happens is the fast reacting stochastic, this blue line, has crossed the slower reacting stochastic, this purple line, and then it came all the way up here, and then now it came back down and seemingly bouncing off that beautiful purple or pink line, whatever you want to call it. And this signal is usually a pretty good line. So first of all, we see that cross, it goes up, comes back down, then it bounces off that region, and that is usually a pretty solid moment to buy. And then the last indicator is going to be the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence indicator, always a beautiful name to say. But we have two things here going on. First of all, we see a beautiful cross of the MACD being this blue line over here, and the orange line being the signal line, so-called signal line. And we see a nice cross back to the upside. The blue line, the MACD, is seemingly stronger compared to the signal line right now. So that is already a pretty good signal. But we also see bullish divergence here on the MACD, just like we saw on the RSI. Again, remember that price action is making lower lows, a low over here, low over here. But if we go to that MACD, we see a low over here in the beginning of March, and at the end of March, a way higher low compared to this low. So that again means bullish divergence, price action going lower, making lower lows, but the indicator, the MACD in this case, is making higher lows, which is bullish divergence and a good signal. So what does this all mean? Well, if you put this all together, you see that there are quite a lot of nice signals coming up from technical analysis. I think we're currently looking at a nice bullish setup. Now, of course, this is not guaranteed. It's not going to play out in 100% of the cases, but I do think if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd likely say that it's about 75% likely that in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks more or less, we're going to see more upside than downside. And also do keep in mind that technical analysis is just one tool you should have in your toolbox as far as I'm concerned, in my personal opinion. I don't think that technical analysis should be the only basis you should use, but you should of course also look at the fundamentals of a company, the valuation of a company, the financials of a company, and put that all together to create a nice image of when you want to buy, when you want to sell. So my question to you is, are you buying this lemonade dip or are you just holding on? Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!